Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's new episode of Primetime Gaming with Mr. BoomStick and Friends. And ladies and gentlemen, man, oh man, the state of play just finished happening. It ended like we all hoped and prayed that it would. And yes, Wolverine looks in freaking credible. Look, this is a big step up from what we saw in the leaks. The one thing I don't know if it's still in the game. We're gonna get into it, but my God, Insomniac, they always deliver and they cooked. It is brutal. It is vicious. It reminds me of Wolverine Origins, and only the old G's in here are gonna remember that from the Xbox 360 days. What an amazing game! So brutal, and we're gonna get into that. State of play had some highlights, had some lowlights as well. But I it's probably one of my favorites in a long time. I'll say that much. And it really obviously is because of Wolverine. But we're also going to get into Tokyo Game Show. It's happening, folks. Xbox is having their Tokyo Game Show coverage at 6 a.m., which I'm just getting up. So, of course, tomorrow, just like today, you're getting a double dose pause of Double Barrel Gaming. I'm going to do a stream at 9 a.m. to react to what Xbox has shown off. And, of course, then come back at 12. Unfortunately, C-Money won't be joining me, but I will be joined by Will the Broke Boy Lewis, and maybe we can get another person or two in there to talk about the Tokyo Game Show. So obviously, if you got some time, Hargit, you want to pop in for half an hour, you let me know, and we'll get you in to get your thoughts on it, because obviously there is a big announcement from Xbox. As a matter of fact, it's being held real super close to the vest. I think we all know what it is, but we're going to be covering that the second half of the show. But hey, Asante, welcome back, kind sir. How you feeling?
I am doing well, sir. I'm happy to be here as usual. Hope all is well.
Yes, indeed it is, man. Can't wait to get my hands on the ROG Ally that you are sent
Oh
that you have
yeah,
sent
yeah.
back.
It
Yes.
it has been shipped to you. It should be in your inbox momentarily. So I hope you can tell the fine folks how it feels to use it and all that. I look
Oh,
forward to
I
your
absolutely
feedback.
can. And for me, being a big fan of the arcade stuff, we know that you put some of those ROMs onto it. And yeah, that's right. Aliens versus Predator. I play at least once a year. I think I'll play it more now. One of my favorite
Uh,
side-scrolling beat 'em ups. And shame on Capcom for not bringing that back with Alien Earth being as good as it is.
oh
Oh my
yeah, absolutely,
God.
absolutely, yeah.
But happy to have you back, brother. We're gonna get into the topics momentarily. But hey, Hargi Chani, what's up, brother? How you feeling?
Uh, Feeling all right. Yeah, just finished watching that state of play as well, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get into it. But I'll say this, my God, can we open up with a fun topic? And again, it's a bonus one, as we kind of wait for people to file in. Um, the amount of games that continue to be released, ladies and gentlemen, is almost to the point of delirium. If it's not Xbox Game Pass, just dropping one bomb after another after another. Sonic Racing, I bought the deluxe edition. I actually bought it on two consoles. I actually bought it on the Switch and I bought it on the Xbox. I usually double dip on a lot of the stuff that comes to both. So of course I got the deluxe edition. This is actually from the demo, so I haven't started recording footage. I did play through the first Grand Prix, and I won, which is great. But it's so good. My God, me and Asante were talking in agreement, folks. I got to be honest with you. I think it's better than Mario Kart World. I'm slander aside, it really is freaking good. But then you have Silent Hill F, which I am going to buy over the weekend. I should have probably pre-ordered it. I didn't, but it's sitting at an 86. Like, yes, freaking please. And it's just been crazy. So obviously I've been playing yet another zombie survivor because it's so good. I am now playing Sonic. I am also playing Dying Light the Beast, and wow, that game is so much fun, very addicting. I probably have well over 20 hours, and I am still in the first map. Like, it's crazy. There's so many side missions. You know, you get into the car, you drive, run a couple of zombies over, people call for help, you do your thing. It's really good. Again, it's one of those games that I actually forgot was releasing, and it would have been super cool to get it released closer to Halloween, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. Asante, what has your time been like for gaming?
Honestly, these days it's been catching up on some of the backlog while still catching up on some of the new stuff. As like you, I'm kind of a grazer when it comes to gaming, so I'm playing lots of different kinds of games. Obviously, Silk Song has my life. I've been playing
Okay.
that on multiple platforms. I love that game. It is very difficult, and you play it, and then eventually it plays you, and you get frustrated, and you have to put it down for a little while, and then you gotta pick something else. The latest thing I actually, funny enough, just bought after some recommendations from the Discord is I'm dipping some toes into the waters of Yakuza. I've played Like a Dragon,
Oh,
but I haven't played all the others. So others are recommending that I try Judgment and then Lost Judgment. So
Hargeet
those
always
are the
talks
two.
about that. Yes.
Yeah, so those are the two I'm going to jump into afterwards. But then I plan to potentially start from the top and play my way through it.
I mean, you gotta just start with 0, right? Just start with the beginning. That's the way to go. But fair enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so those are the games that are keeping me a bit busy right now. But it's all Silk Song, man. All Silk Song all the time right now.
Yeah, I bought Silk Song on both Xbox and Switch. I bought both, and you know what? That game is gorgeous. It runs so butterly smooth, but it is hard as hell. It does take your lunch like a bully at every freaking turn. But you know what's crazy? I have not seen the recent sales numbers because I think we talked about it on Friday. But that for a game that's in Game Pass, it sold over 6 million copies, and I think that was a Friday. I mean, what a triumph for Team Cherry. I mean, and again, the story that really pulled at our heartstrings that we were talking about that I literally got choked up was the fact that they took Seth's drawing and they made it into an actual character, and so he's going to live on forever. And that was from a kid that had bone cancer. Unfortunately, he lost his battle. But the fact that Team Cherry, took his drawing and it's 1-to-1. Like I said, I'm trying not to get choked up about it because obviously it's a sensitive subject. But yeah, I mean, what a class act studio, and I couldn't be happier for them. But Hargeet, what have you been playing, kind sir? Because I know that you like to destroy things before they leave Game Pass. What you been up to, man?
I've been playing a couple of games. So one I had bought a while back and never got to start it, so I just figured I'll start it. It's Dance of Death, Duloc and Faye, and it's basically Duloc is what's his name? Lancelot, and Faye is Morgana. Faye from the Arthur story, but they're in sort of more modern times, but not quite modern times. But anyway, so it's an interesting little investigation type game. And then some puzzle games. I've been playing those. Other than that, it's been Helldivers. I played a little Borderlands. So I've been kind of all over the place.
Well, I mean, I almost drank the Kool-Aid with Borderlands until Mr. Pitchford kind of put his foot in it again, as he always does. So I decided to vote with my wallet, and I'll get it at the end of the year on sale. Looks really good. I mean, everyone that I have spoken to has high praise for the game. It is because I was a little hesitant because I loved 1 and 2, but I absolutely hated 3. I don't know what it was about the game. I tried. I bought the big boy edition on top of that because I'm like, well, it's Borderlands. How bad could it be? And I hated it. Oh my God, what a waste of money. So I was like, yeah, Borderlands 4, not so much. And then I'm starting to hear people in the community, and people really are enjoying it. So I'm like, oh man, I'm getting FOMO. I got these gift cards burning a hole in my pocket, and then the whole thing with Randy Pitchford being just a real D. So I was like, yeah, you know what? It's fine. I'll wait. for sale.
Yeah.
And then of course, again, it's Konami. You don't know. I didn't buy Snake Eater. That's another game. There are too many games. Ultimately, that's what it really comes down to, folks. I have the money to buy these games. I just don't have the freaking time to play them. It's just, that's what it really, man, it's just crazy.
Yeah. It is hard to keep up. There's just so much. But
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, you know what? Not real world problems, ladies and gentlemen. Too many games,
Yes.
not enough time in the day. Yeah, not real world problems. But
definite,
you know what?
Definite first world problems.
Yeah, I would say so, man. But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, folks, I probably should have opened up with, hey, chat, what are you guys playing, guys and girls? What are you playing? And we would have named some stuff in here. We'll give you some shout outs as we continue. But all right, so let's rip this Band-Aid right off, ladies and gentlemen, and get right into Sony's state of play for the end of September. Now, of course, the rumor of Wolverine showing up at the at the end of September was made a reality. I'm going to tell you this right now. I think that Wolverine looks amazing. It is everything that I could possibly want from a Wolverine game. We got a chance to see what Omega Red looks like, which he looks really good. Mystique looked freaking amazing. I mean, look, it's so brutal. I can't believe how brutal it is, Keasante. It honestly, like I said, folks, if you remember, and look, I'm not trying to be like disrespectful. There's a lot of young people that watch the show, and that's pretty cool. I don't know how many people even during the 360 era remember or played it, but Wolverine Origins was freaking amazing. And I know a lot of us were always wondering whether or not that was going to come back as some sort of a backwards compatibility thing with the Activision deal. And we're still waiting on a lot of the Activision games, unfortunately. And that was one of them. I know I did see a story that was dropped by Hazardor Gaming about Transformers being relisted on Steam. I know that, so I don't know if that means that some of the Activision stuff is going to come back, and maybe they start with both Transformer games and it comes into Game Pass, which would be pretty dope. But we will definitely see. But you know what, Hargeet, let's start with you, man. You seemed a little bit on the fence about the state of play. Now, granted, Soros looked really good. Soros is next year, 2026 March. You also have Wolverine next year. So, folks, you know what? Get excited. There is a bit of a roadmap. And you know what? As much smoke as we've given Sony, this is the kind of Sony that I've been missing. And yes, one's a smaller game, one's a monster-sized game. They're going to bookend the years. Yeah. I don't know if anything is going to be in the middle. But at least Marathon, that Wolverine,
maybe, right?
I mean, Marathon could be next at the middle of the year. That's a really good pick. Yeah, so that would be not a bad year. One of the better years for Sony. Look, let's call a spade a spade. They have been hurting in the first party department, and they showed up a couple of really good games. What was your overall take on Sony's state of play?
And by the way, remember they'll always have MLB The Show, right? That'll also come out every year. So,
yes. Every March.
Fair about that.
Right before the baseball season. Mm-hmm.
So overall, like, I think if like all those games were not something I already knew about, I would actually give that show a pretty good rating. I think it was really good.
Yeah.
The problem is they didn't like show me anything new, like except maybe that like remaster of Deus Ex, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, another remaster.
It's a little disappointing in that they just don't give you that like new wow thing. Okay, so fair enough. Let's just say that's it. They're just not able to give you anything new. At least I don't remember any of those being new, because I thought we had announcements for pretty much all of those games. And then, some of the, like Microsoft Flight Simulator comes. Yeah, okay, we kind of knew that was coming out. It's like, fine.
Yeah, we kind of knew that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like, okay, but again, that's a game that's been out, right? It's like, all right, so you're getting a game we got like a year ago. Okay, excellent. So Saros, it looks decent, and again, it looks like a Housemarque game. Is that good or bad? I don't know. Like, we'll have to see a bit more of like what the gameplay mechanics are. Is it still like a rogue type game, or is it just straight, a whole bunch of bullet fun and you just like keep shooting and whatever. Okay, it does have this shield thing where you're absorbing stuff. That's an interesting mechanic. Again, we'll see, right? So I don't expect a lot from that, so it could surprise. It could surprise and be really good, right? But you know, okay, so that's one. Fine, cool. The rest of it was kind of like updates on stuff. We're getting release dates. Awesome. I think Battlefield, right? That looked kind of cool.
Yeah, they looked at that story, the single player campaign.
Yeah, is that the first time we kind of got the campaign, right? So okay, cool, that's awesome. So and then you know you got did we have the release date for Crimson Desert before? Because I think
no, we did not.
Out. So again, cool stuff, right? There's a lot of cool things there. That's awesome. But again, it's stuff we already kind of knew about. And then Wolverine, it to your point, it looks kind of good, and I'm like hesitantly thinking it's going to be good, right? It showed me the things I kind of wanted in the gameplay as far as the fighting. Yes, right? Like gory, in your face, instead of the punches of Spider-Man, it's like it's slashing and destroying. Cool. Where I'm a little concerned is I still saw that rooftop thing, and I'm like, no.
Yes.
No. What I don't want is an open world sandbox with Wolverine. I don't care. I don't want. Let me solve your problem. I don't care because its problem resolution would be I'm slashing your head off. I don't care to have that. So, so I'm hesitant, and that's the only reason they showed me that one scene. I'm like, I just hope it's not that. So look, we give it until the spring. That's when they said they would show us more coming out next fall. I'm with you. I'm excited. I think it might be great, except for that one caveat. That's what made me hesitate. I'm like, oh boy, do not tell me this, because that's what leaked, right? What we got,
yes,
was this open world.
Yes,
and I'm like, I no, I don't want that. I want what they did. It was just set piece after set piece. It's just because what would be the point of an open, unless they do something crazy good? That open world would just kind of annoy me. I don't want that for that. So, overall, though, I'm like taking away from the fact that like almost nothing was new. I think it was pretty good. So I'd give it like a 7.5, 8 because of the fact that a lot of it was just redux. I've already seen all these games, right? If they'd show me one thing that was like brand new, it's like, oh, this is cool. They didn't really have that. So like, fine. So overall, that's my only disappointment with it is like, you know, is Sony really just never going to show me anything new? Like, where's like a Persona or something like that, right? So show me something new. Right, and it's PlayStation. They usually have those, but maybe they hit one of the smaller titles was new. I don't know. It didn't really hit me in that way, right? So that was kind of my disappointment. Outside of that, I thought what they showed was good. I thought it was pretty good. It's certainly way better than the continuing state of decay they've had before. I think this is
very fair. It's a fair assessment because yeah, to your point, at least what I said before, and I'll say it again, this is certainly one of their better shows in a very long time. Yes.
Yeah, and so I was happy with the games they're showing. That's great. There were a couple of games I'm like, yeah, whatever, but that's okay. That almost happens with every showcase, right? So overall, very cool. I just wish there was something new. And again, my hesitation on Wolverine is just that like being on the rooftop thing. I'm like, if that's just a set piece and it's a cinematic, okay, fine. If that's what we're doing, I'm out. You have to really convince me then, because I don't know if I want an open world Wolverine. Like, we'll see, but whatever. And maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. But the way they're going at it, they're saying he's going to be pretty much not a hero, right? So, and if that's the case, I don't know how they make that work. But hey, whatever, we'll see.
I mean, the one thing I will say is, if you notice, a lot of the people that he was chopping up were, had been surgically like changed. They had bionics, they had robot parts. I don't know if they were actual mutants or just paramilitary that gets these upgrades. So we're going to learn more. I would imagine there's going to be
waiting for that spring. Yeah,
yeah. The spring state of play is going to be basically all dedicated to Wolverine. I like the brutality. I you know what? Again, I'm a sucker for some behind the scenes stuff, especially when they start getting into the motion capture. They showed some of that. I thought that was very interesting. We got a chance to see who's voicing Logan, which is pretty cool. So I mean, again, I'm a big nerd for that kind of stuff, so I really appreciate it. Where I hate using the word concern because I really didn't have any, but I do have to agree with you. They cannot have a Spider-Man-esque Wolverine. And let me
And
let me
that was
just be
my
clear
fear.
on what I'm talking about, folks, because the way Wolverine is as a character is, yes, he can climb up walls by clawing, which he's done. We've seen him do it, right? The problem is that that's not really Wolverine. He's a close quarter, whirlwind. He's the Tasmanian devil, is what he really is. And close quarter combat is his thing, right? I know that, if you're a fan of the X-Men, and I've been a fan since I was a kid, we know the Speedball special, where where Colossus throws him. Yeah, I mean, there's been times where he's had some verticality, but normally he's grounded technically. What I am, and I do have to mirror what Hargeet is saying. I do hope that a lot of the criticism that came out in the leak was that this him climbing up the buildings in this. I don't want to say it's an open world, but it's a big enough area that I think it would be too big for him. Right?
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't fit who Logan is. And again, this is not hating. I cannot wait to play this game. I think they freaking cooked because it looks really good.
And the cutscenes look good and all that. It looks
Yes.
fine, right? But the difference in the entire mindset of the character, it's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So he does go to other people and help them out. And everywhere can be little things that you can do. I just don't see that with Wolverine. It just doesn't. But look, they can surprise me. I'm willing to see what they pull off here. It's at least the action part of it looked good. It did. Looks good.
Again, it's one of those things where look. I'll say this, folks. Let me just be clear with this. It's Insomniac, and they don't release bad games. They don't. What we saw in the leak a couple of years ago was super pre-alpha footage. It was super rough, and yes, there were some areas where you can do your thing. It put it this way: it soured me on what they were doing with Logan. Because he is not, like Hargeet just said, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's not. And even though he's going to be helping people, potentially other mutants, I would imagine, we know that Jean Grey is going to be playing a big part. At least that's from the leaks. We don't know if she's still there. I hope she is. And my other concern, even though we didn't see her, and we kind of knew this because of the leaks, I hope that Jean Grey, is an Omega level X-Men. She is one of the most powerful mutants of all of them. I don't want her to be a Mary Jane running around with a stun gun. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, this is, they didn't show it, so we don't know if she's even in the game anymore. I will say it looked dope AF, and I am there day one. That's a game. Like I said, with Spider-Man, I will be platinum that game. I will put 50, 60, 100 hours into it. I'm a huge fan of the X-Men. I'm a huge fan specifically of Logan. And even more so than that, I am I'm a stan for Insomniac games. They are by far one of my personal favorite PlayStation studios. And again, genius work for Sony picking them up all those years ago for what was $300 million. What a freaking steal. Oh my God. I cannot believe, because you got to remember, they've been carrying PlayStation for years. I'm just very excited. We got a chance to see Logan or Wolverine. I think the game is going to be another banger. It's exactly what I have a PlayStation for. And I mean, is this a day and date release on PC? I could only imagine if you're rocking like a 5090 like Hargeet, what that game would actually look like. But I've been sitting here talking, and we have to hear from Kay Asante. Kay, what's going on, brother? Let's hear what you thought of the state of play, and more specifically about Wolverine.
Honestly, for me, the state of play hit on a lot of good themes. Initially, those of us that sat down to watch it, we had this preconceived notion that you'd be seeing nothing but first party offerings. So at first, we were like, "Well, what's going on?" As Hardeet has already said, a lot of the stuff you've already seen before, or maybe they're adding a bit more meat on the bones of something that has already been announced or something like that. So that took some getting used to, but honestly, I was underwhelmed with the whole state of play. I thought it was okay, and then Wolverine showed up and saved the day for me. But then
Okay,
again,
that's a fair assessment.
I'll tell you, I'm a Marvel stan. When
Yeah.
they do it correctly, and I mean, I've been an Insomniac guy for a long time. They've never done it wrong, in my opinion. So them hitting these notes, what I saw was them getting Marvel Wolverine Origins Uncaged edition done right.
Which is
Right,
even more
that's
brutal.
what I saw. Right, which is super brutal. Like visceral combat, hard, like rated system. Make sure that it's for adults. Make the story compelling. It looks like they have it on all cylinders there. I did see people some complaints about not liking the look of the game from a just a graphics perspective. I think the art style might be a little take it or leave it. It looks to me like pseudo real, but not really grounded real. It looks a little almost overly animated a bit sometimes. But I dug it. I think it looks great. But some people, I did hear some people say that they don't like graphically what it looks like, and I think it's possibly because it's going for that cartoon look almost. And I think it looks pretty good.
PlayStation annoyance, isn't it? Because PlayStation fans will expect it to have this high graphic fidelity, high quality. And it's like, I didn't even care. I just want a game. And if it looks good, I'm playing it.
It's funny because, when they showed the close-up of Logan before he was actually in the suit and wearing the mask, just like out of his X-Men gear, Logan, and he had all the blood on his face. I thought that was a really good rendition. Again, it didn't look like Hugh Jackman, which I'm glad. It didn't really look like the Logan from the comics. That's the thing that I have to say I love about Insomniac, right? Just look at their past wares, guys. And Kay, I'm going right back to you with this. So if you didn't play Spider-Man 2018, I am not going to be the one to ruin that for you. Needless to say, they did something in the game that made me, and I swear to God, ladies and gentlemen, I put the controller down and was like, what the... Right? I mean, Kay, you got to know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about.
So then Miles comes out, and look, folks, I'm going to try not to get emotional about it. There is a real personal, deep-seated reason with me why I absolutely freaking adore that game. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not ashamed. I like it even more than Spider-Man 2018. Again, it's a lot of personal reasons.
So do I. Yeah, so do I.
And they did some things there different with Miles, right? They followed a lot of the guidelines of his mom and his pops and everything. Great. And then Spider-Man 2 comes out, and that's where they really went their own way. If you didn't know, Eddie Brock is Venom. He has been Venom for decades. He's been Venom. He's got cancer. The whole. If you're a comic book nut like me, you know what I'm talking about. Well, they changed the whole Venom lore, and again, no one else could do that but Insomniac. And here we are, where they kind of changed some things with Logan. And listen, Logan is a savage. That's what he is. He is an animal, and he knows it, and he does not shy away from it. But I don't know. I'm rambling here. I really enjoyed what they had to show. But please continue, Kason.
No issues at all. I really enjoyed what they had to show. I think it's Insomniac at their best. I do sometimes feel a little bad for them, as great as they are, and they are absolutely awesome. I recently replayed Sunset Overdrive. As great as they are, I feel like they've been regulated to the superhero salt mines.
I knew you were going to say it.
Another superhero, like it sucks. They used to be very creative and do lots of weird different things, and now it's like they're stuck to that because you're a victim of your own success. It is what it is. But again, of course, they showed why they are successful at what they do. They're very good at this, and it looked amazing. Now, I hope this will redeem JD Phoenix, because that's the voice of Wolverine now.
Yes,
he is also the voice of JD Phoenix from Gears of War. But yes, I think all around they did a great job. Now, as to my score or my thoughts on the overall of the state of play, I feel like you said it once before, and I agree with you that as long as you have one or two that speaks to you, that's successful.
yes.
And by that barometer, I'll give it that 7.5.
Okay, that's a fair score.
If I didn't see, I saw Code Vein 2. Code Vein is actually pretty decent. It looked good, stuff like that. There are a few games here and there that I thought
Neo 3 looked really good, but again, a Souls-like bull breaker of a game.
Yeah,
man.
not really my kind of thing. So they had me with Wolverine. I was very much a fan. I'm the guy that I poured over certain leaks. Maybe there's some PC versions that have been played a little bit before, but yeah, what I saw, it looks like they're confident. It looks like they came out swinging, and they, if nothing else, they cut themselves a darn good trailer, and they were able to explain it very well. So I look forward to seeing the rest.
And I wonder how well these speakers will sell. Why are you making speakers? Like,
that is
I know
weird
they make speakers,
thing, right?
It's Sony. Right, I get that,
but isn't it weird that like in the middle of the showcase you just show us, hey, speakers for your PC. Oh, by the way, all these games aren't coming to PC. Never mind. What we were talking about PCs. Back to the game. Like, what?
That was odd product placement. Yeah. But you know what was even more odd, and this is where I kind of give them some slander. Look, folks, you know how I feel about God of War 2018. I loved every second of that game. I took so many pictures. It was to the point of just egregious. I loved what they did with Kratos. I thought it was brilliant. After a while, the kid got a little annoying. I'm not going to front. But it's fine. Whatever. But as a PlayStation fan, and I know some people are like, well, you're a bot. You can't love PlayStation. Folks, I had PlayStations before anyone in the States did, because I used to import everything. So yeah, I've been here. I'm an OG PS guy. I prefer Xbox more now, sure, but I still love PlayStation and its history, which is why Astrobot hit me in the feels last year, and it was one of my favorite games that I played. Right. The odd product placement here drives me, like, I don't care about the PC speakers. Sure, was it odd? Yes. Do a lot of these games come to PC? No. So it doesn't really make sense, but fine, whatever. The God of War controller, the 20th anniversary God of War controller, first of all, was, I'm sorry, man, that's a lazy design. It's just got a red stripe on it, folks. That's it. So of course, my mind, I'm like, if they're going to show off the controller, you know what's coming. The rumored trilogy that's being remade, right? Or at least God of War 1, the original. And I'm waiting for it. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And I'm like, they didn't just kind of show a controller and not give us a game. Yet I don't know, man. I just see. Again, for me, I give the show an 8. I give it an 8 out of 10. They had some highlights. I played the original Neo. I have both of them. I have both collector's editions. I never beat it. I got close to beating Neo 1. Neo 2 just destroyed me. Those games are hard, man. And of course, I'm probably going to buy Neo 3, play it for a couple hours, and never play it again, because I'm a fan of the series. So the fact that you're getting a third one, that's freaking awesome. But so Wolverine ends the show solid. That's the DNA of PlayStation. They open up with Soros. Now, Soros, again, I didn't play the first game. They said that it's not technically a sequel; it's its own thing. Okay, that's fine. Returnal, if it comes to Xbox, like it's rumored, I will buy it. I will play it. I'm probably going to enjoy it and die a gazillion times as well. Okay, fine. But I kind of feel like Sony is missing the killer instinct that it used to have, right? Like when they would have these state of plays, and it's been a while since they've had a really good one. This one is the best one probably in the last couple of years. And I'm not being facetious, folks. I'm being straight up. Like they've had some really terrible ones. This wasn't one of them. This was really good, actually. So I'm happy about that. But if they could have added that God of War, and again, I mean, it's a rumor, folks. We've heard from many of the leakers out there, Jeff Grubb being one of them, that they're working on the original trilogy. Now, is it the original trilogy? Like, we thought Gears of War was going to be the trilogy, and it wound up just being one. So maybe it's not the trilogy for God of War. But you know what? I'll take God of War 1 remade. Yes, please. Give me 2025 graphics on the PlayStation. Yeah, I'll gladly buy that. And if they would have added that, for me, this would have been a 9.5 out of 10. I would have really, really thought that, again, going for it. And, you turn around and say, yeah, this is coming, the 20th anniversary. We're celebrating Kratos. Here's a controller. Here's the game. It's coming out this time. Everyone's getting excited. It's party time. I don't know. Any final thoughts before we get into Tokyo Game Show, Hargeet?
Yeah, I mean, like, so to your point, I guess I don't even know how many of these games are really locked down. I assume Neo 3 is an exclusive. I don't know, because Neo 1 and 2 are still.
They're still only on PlayStation, as far as I know. I mean, maybe they're on PC. Yeah, sure, but not on. I think
they're on PC, right? Yeah, I don't know where Neo's gonna launch. Is that gonna be on just PlayStation or PlayStation and PC? Or I don't know. We'll see what happens there. The controller, yeah, I mean, for those who like those accessories, if it's good for you, what the heck, right? I don't care. It's fine. But whatever. We see a lot of controllers on our side too. I kind of agree that it's
lots of them. I just bought one today, Ninja Gaiden.
There's not a lot to it, but if people like it, it's good enough. Whatever. The speaker is just really, I didn't understand. But fair enough. Whatever they want to do there. Overall, the show's better. I hope next time they can show us some new stuff. That would be awesome. But hey, whatever, they at least got something with some good, good gameplay in it. Crimson Desert still pretty good, and Battlefield 6 looks good, right? So those also helped me with my score. But I've been looking at Crimson for a while. It's looking really good. We got a release date now, so that's pretty cool. I hope people realize that Flight Simulator is good and they buy it over there, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, overall, it's a step up. I'll just say it's a step up. I'm not overly enthusiastic about them these days because they just don't have much to offer. Look, they have a few more games. They haven't shown us anything with Marathon. I don't know what's going on there, and like we'll see, because we're kind of due for some update there. But oh well. Fair Games, I guess they're limping along doing something. Don't know, right? Tokon, we'll find out. Hopefully that'll come out at some point. I don't know if that comes out next year or it's way down the road. Intergalactic, we assume, is a long time away. And I think that's the kind of roadmap we have. I don't know if there's anything else I'm missing from them, but something, I guess. I don't know. So next year you get a couple of games instead of one game. So yay. So that's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what else to really say about their state of play. It was kind of okay. And again, that is a step up. I have to agree. That's a step up from what they were before, because they were always meh. What the heck was that?
Yeah, I mean, it's fair.
It's good. It's good, and I'm rooting for them with Wolverine. I hope it is a good game. I want to see more, but I hope it's going to be really good. And look, we have another game coming in a few weeks with Ghost of Yote, and it by all means looks like it's going to be good. I hope. Like, we'll see. I'm hearing good things, but we'll see.
I mean, listen, again, for me, it's an 8 out of 10. I think that's a strong score. The middle had some nice things. I think that when I got excited when I saw the God of War thing, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to show the game. And when they just showed the controller, and the controller,
I mean, I would like to see that, but maybe it's not ready. Maybe it's just,
maybe it's not ready. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, at this point,
I don't know.
I'll put it this way. Again, anyone that has been keeping the score on their past state of plays, this is probably the best one in the last 3 years. Easily the best one in the last 3 years. Kesanta, let's get your final thoughts on this before we get to Tokyo Game Show.
Well, ultimately, my score stands 7.5. I agree that this is probably one of their best outings in a while. I'm also a rarity that thinks that even though not everybody will be with me on day one, I will be playing Ghost of Yotai soon, so that's exciting as well. I think even though they are a little light as compared to their competitors, I still think they have something to offer. So they've given me reason to dust off my PS5. It is what it is, So I think it was a decent show.
Excellent, good stuff.
Is there a Keeley poll? There usually is, right? Did he put one up?
I saw him talking about Wolverine. I don't know if he did poll anything. Of course he's going to poll it up for sure. Anybody that follows me on Twitter, if you find it, throw it into the DM. So I can take a quick look at it because I don't want to go looking for it. But if you do have it, drop it in the DM. I definitely would appreciate that. But gentlemen, chat, we got to get into what's happening in a couple of hours. Now, it is going to be 6 a.m. here when the Xbox Showcase or the Xbox Tokyo Game Show showcase happens. I'm literally going to be getting up. So as I am getting myself together to go do some things and take Mrs. Boom to work, I'll be watching this thing. Again, I'll be 9 a.m. tomorrow. I will be doing a reaction panel. It could be a reaction one-man panel. I don't know, but if anybody wants to join, let me know, and we'll try and make it happen. But I am very interested for one thing. Now, we did see the listing, and I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. There was a list that popped out, and let me see if let me pull up on my show notes over here, where it talked about it broke down exactly what games are coming and when, like an order of the hour they're going to be shown. So let me just pull that up right now, and I'll be able to read that verbatim. I just gotta find it. Yeah, here it is right here. So at 6 o'clock is the opening, 6 p.m. Japan time. And at 6:30 they have a game called Mojagme is going to be opening up the show for them. Right after that, though, this is where it gets interesting. Xbox title, Microsoft Gaming. And of course, this is from what I've heard, and I've talked to a couple of people, being kept super close to the vest. So I have not heard anything from any of the few sources that I have. And then, of course, obviously, you have Hyrule Warriors after that. You have Animula Nuke by Tencent. You have QQQ Beats right after that. You have Yuku Genso Koyoku Revival by Tadio. Wow, by Tadio. I can't even believe they're making games still. And then it's over. It's ending at 21:55. That's military time, folks. Which would be 9 o'clock. 9:55 is when it's going to end. This is the list in front of me. This is what's going to be on YouTube on September 27th. And look, I think everybody in the chat here knows what we're all waiting for. We're all waiting for the announcement of Forza Horizon 6 in Japan, and ultimately that's going to steal the show. It's close to the opening. There is one game before it. I know that Phil Spencer and the rest of the crew are going to be out there. I don't know what to expect with their showcase, how long it's going to be, because I haven't seen any times for it. But we know that they're going to be there. They're having they're having an event. They're having a showcase of sorts for Japan. So one of the things that has been rumored to be happening is the final pricing and pre-orders for the ROG Xbox Ally S and X. And you might be asking yourself, Hargeet and Kay, why Japan? Because that's the market they're going to be focusing the most on. I don't know with the China market. I know we talked about it last week, where China may not be the best place to launch this thing because of how they are, with the knockoff devices, and they'd rather spend that. And are they going to spend 900 yen? I don't think so. But Japan is a market that these handhelds might do extremely well in. And if you can bring a game like Horizon to Japan, and you can, combine those two announcements while you're at the Tokyo Game Show, let's call a spade a spade. All eyes in that region are going to be on this show. It's their big E3 of the year. And I think that you could get, again, folks, this is me just spitballing. They have failed in Japan for decades, not years, decades. And this is an opportunity where the Xbox Play Anywhere, Xbox Cloud Gaming, we know how cloud gaming is in Japan. It's phenomenal, right? We know that they used to be very traditional in the way with their home consoles, not so much anymore. They are definitely gamers on the go. And they love handhelds, and that's just the thing. They love mobile. This is an opportunity, Hargeet, where you can do two bang-up announcements. One, the price, release date, and pre-order of the handhelds. And in the same, day that you're talking about the handhelds for the world, but Japan more specifically because you're there in Tokyo, you announce Forza Horizon 6 coming to Japan. Oh, man, that's a winning combination. What are your expectations for what Microsoft is going to do, or more specifically, Xbox is going to do tomorrow?
So one thing is, I don't know that there was a Sega showcase, right? So, but they had 4 titles, if I remember right, that they have.
No, they were showing off 9 titles, and they had the cards up 3, 3, and 3, and there were 4 missing spots, 4 blank spots there. Yes.
And was that? But they are not on the schedule to have a showcase, correct?
Not as far as I know. I mean, I can do a quick search and see.
But I'm wondering, because I don't see a lot of showcases. So, are they going to show their new stuff on Xbox's stage? Is that what's going to happen?
Maybe, bro. That's a really good idea.
Right. So hey, they've had a pretty good partnership, right? So, yeah, that'd be kind of interesting to see, right? To see like them showcasing Sega games. So that could be there. As you said, we already have this big rumor about Forza. It's due. We know it's coming because Phil said it at the end of the showcase, the June showcase. They're going to have Forza next year. So we know it's coming. So the question is, when do they announce it? If it's Forza Horizon in Japan, right, why not? Let's just announce it there at Tokyo Game Show. It makes a lot of sense. But taking that out of it, since we've already talked about that ad nauseum, I think those Sega games are going to be announced there too. It'd be really awesome if they had like one of the Final Fantasies come over to Game Pass. We already know the release date, I think, right, for the FF7 remake, the first part.
Yeah.
But what about maybe we get something from them as well? And I don't know if they've said anything new about like some games from Square Enix. But there's like this game that's been in development for a while called Kingdom Hearts. We can get some update on that.
Are you kidding me? They're putting down the house. Yeah.
And then, they could announce the 3rd chapter in that trilogy. Maybe it's early. Maybe it's early. But they could announce the 3rd chapter in that Final Fantasy remake trilogy. And wouldn't it be a kicker if it's on Xbox's stage? So there's some potentials there, right? I'm sure there's other things they're working on. There's probably other games that haven't been on the platform they're going to bring to the platform. Things going into Game Pass, I'm sure. But the ROG is going to be an interesting one, right? Are they going to Are they going to in some way incentivize the shift to PC? What will they do with that? The messaging here is going to be rather interesting, right? We've gotten this, they announce it June. You can now play with it at Gamescom, and now we're going to tell you how to get it. But what is it you're getting?
Yeah,
so,
good point.
how do they put that together? Now, is that going to be part of their showcase? Are they going to have a separate thing? I would assume, and remember, you're going to have a lot of repeats because this is now the Asia show that's going to tell them about the games we already got in June, right? There's going to be some redux of that. So just keep that in mind. But now, how do they start marketing this thing in Asia, where, to your point, there is a bigger market for portable type devices and smaller type devices, right? So is that something they can effectively do, right? And we've had this shift for the person that was hired from PlayStation to kind of run the Japan market is now, elevated to run the Asia market, right? So, what was her name? Sato, Kato, something like, I can't remember her, whatever her name was.
Yeah, I have it in my notes.
But anyway, so she was, elevated to the Asia market. Is that part of the thing? Is to try to say, how do we take this, the ROG, how do we take our current platform? Because look, it's PC, it's Xbox, it's this mix now. How do we take this platform and move it forward? They already have some of the bigger games out in Asia anyways, with some of the ABK acquisition stuff and Minecraft. They've always had that. So how do they start marketing all of that and say, hey, we are a major player in this arena, and we need to exemplify that and showcase that. And I think they're the only big player as far as the platforms that's actually doing something in TGS, right? There's no Nintendo presence that I'm aware of, and I think Sony's out there, but they're not doing a showcase.
They're not doing a showcase, but they're going to have a booth. And the same thing with I got the info pulled up on Sega Atlas. So it says Sega will have a presence at the Tokyo Game Show from September 25th through the 28th, with an official Sega Atlas booth providing hands-on demos, special merchandise, and stage events. The lineup that they have listed here is Revo World Stage, which is, of course, Virtual Fighter Revo World Stage, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, Football Manager 26, the Nintendo Switch 2 version of Persona 3 Reload, and 4 coming soon titles that are slated for reveal at the showcase.
At the showcase?
Yeah.
What showcase?
Probably Xbox.
So then I'm guessing that's where we'll find out. And right, continuing the very active partnership they've been having with Xbox, which is really cool. That's good to see. So, my wacky prediction or like off the wall, crazy, awesome thing that would happen is we have acquired Sega.
Oh, dude, that's holy matrimony.
That would be the best freaking thing ever. But I know it's very unlikely, very, 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 very unlikely. Okay, but I'm just saying that would be so awesome if that happened. But anyway, but look, one of those games. I think we already had picked, one of those games out because they had already announced something. I don't know that kind of leaked as far as one of those titles. But yeah, so I don't know if it's like Yakuza as well or something like that. Maybe I think there was something like that. I want to say there was like a Yakuza something that it was Kiwami 3 maybe. That's one of those games. So I think that one's already figured out. And then I don't know what the other 3 are, but whatever they are, it'd be great to see those on the Xbox show. So I think those are the things that are going to kind of be there. Obviously, we see these kind of things. Now they're saying it's big. They're saying it's big, right? So I don't want to overhype it, but like kind of expecting more than the usual that we usually get, right? So but look, if Forza Horizon is announced, that is a huge announcement, right there. That's a huge announcement.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in how they market that ROG, because this is worldwide plus that region, right? They're getting their announcement. They're getting their, look at it. But the ROG is going to be, opened up for pre-orders for everyone. So how are they playing that out? And then how do they market this thing? So it's going to be very interesting to see. Those are big ones that we have to take a look at. But yeah, I'm hoping that Sega, those 4 games are shown there. Some Square stuff, some other various publishers. So there's potential for something Capcom or Koei or whatever. So there's all sorts of potentials there, right? They've been doing partnerships with Team Ninja,
Yes,
with Ninja Gaiden 4 and Ninja Gaiden 2, and they had that Wolong, right? That was with them as well, right?
Yep.
But then you can have oddball things like Wu-Chang or something like that, just whatever, right? From that region. And I'm wondering if like the promotion of the Japan, the lady that was kind of handling the Japan market to the Asia market is actually bringing fruit now. If they will actually be showing something now to say, hey, we got this thing from India or Malaysia or China or whatever, right? South Korea, right? All the stuff that really PlayStation has been taking the focus on, right?
Yes.
We're going to go lock down, Black Myth Wukong. Oh, that didn't actually happen, but it did happen. Whatever. Yeah, we're going to get Stellar Yams. I mean, Stellar Blade. Lock that down, right? Things like that, right? That I'm assuming that they're actually trying to do the same thing and try to not lock them down, but bring them to the platform, market them with Xbox, potentially bring them to Game Pass, which would be fantastic, right? So this is kind of what I'm expecting, and they've been doing a lot of Japanese content day and date in Game Pass. So these are the kind of things that I'd hope to see. It is early in the morning, but it's fine. I usually wake up at 6 o'clock anyway, so I will I'll be up and watching it, and then we'll see. Maybe I can jump on Boom. I think I have a meeting at 12 or so, but I might be able to jump on a little later, depending on how long you're on.
Yeah, I would imagine that the noon show is probably going to be like $1.15. Usually, that's one of the shorter shows of the week. So again, it's simply going to be reacting to what's going on at Tokyo Game Show. And
does it feel the same as it does for June Showcase though? It doesn't, does it?
It doesn't, because Xbox is a guest there. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different from what they're taking over the place, because again, in June
it should. It should.
Yeah, it should. But
you're right.
I will say this: if
less...
that Forza announcement happens, it's going to steal the entire showcase. It's
possibly.
Gonna steal, yeah.
But we don't know what the other games are, right? So
we don't.
What if they say it's like I've been saying, what if they take something like Altered Beast and make it like an Order 1886, and they partner up and say Game Pass day one?
Yeah,
is that a big announcement? That's a big announcement.
That is a big announcement. Yeah, it'd be a huge announcement. But obviously we got to
say anything like happening. I'm just saying you never know. You just never know. They could do something crazy.
Oh, so hold on a sec. Brett Bingham just dropped something in the DMs. Let me see this. Let's see. Holy matrimony. The Aaron Greenberg wrote to Ryan McCaffrey, and he says, one might say love is in the air, and it's PlayStation and Helldivers and Xbox and Gears. Yeah, I mean, how long you been waiting to post this one, Aaron? Ryan McCaffrey. Yeah, Ryan's kind of always putting his foot in his mouth. It's fine. But you know what? Let's bring Kay Santi. And Kay, look, this partnership that Hargeet is talking about has been something that Sarah Bond has been working for years. If you remember, she had taken a picture as she was on the way home from a Sega meeting, and everyone freaked out because, like, oh my God, they're gonna buy Sega. They're the shopping cart is full and it's got Sega in it. Let's go. And even though Hargeet's thought in theory of potentially getting an announcement that they acquired or
man, would that be awesome?
That would bring down the house. But you know what? Again, I'm a simple man, folks. I don't need that announcement. You know what I need? I need a new Streets of Rage. I need to see what Golden Axe. I need to see what Jet Set Radio looks like. And these are all games that we know that they're working on. Crazy Taxi. It's one of their super games, as they called it. There are 4 games they're going to unveil for the first time. Now, I don't know if it was last year's Game Awards or the year before, but we did get that montage, okay, with all the upcoming new old Sega games. Streets of Rage was one of them. Golden Axe was one. Crazy Taxi. I don't remember if Jet Set was in there, but I know they're working on one. I think it's time. I think after what we've seen this year, and look, folks, you gotta admit, Sega's having a really strong 2025 from just the 2 first-party games. Shinobi is a masterpiece. It's stunning to play. It's gorgeous to look at. And Sonic Racing Worlds just came out, and it is, you saw from me playing it, it's freaking phenomenal. If you can add a couple more, oh man, dude. Like again, I'm excited to see what Xbox is doing, because I've always said that my hope and dream out of Japan would be a Lost Odyssey remake. Like Lost Odyssey, for me personally, that's a game that a lot of people skipped on. It was 4 or even 5 discs, if I remember correctly. That game was amazing. I'd love to see that, a revival of that. Blue Dragon, Eternal Sonata was another really good JRPG during that time when they were trying to, invoke the Japanese audience to accept, the Xbox 360. But so I'm excited to see what Xbox and what partnerships they're going to have. We could get some surprise announcements, but I am very excited to see Sega at their stage. Hopefully they are on their stage. Okay, what do you got, man? Uh-oh. Did we lose Kay?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm here.
Nope.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Can you hear
Yep.
me? Oh,
Yep.
Sorry, the mic was acting up. Yes. So I'm sorry. Say that. Hit me with that one more time. The mic was acting up.
What I was saying is that, obviously some of the big announcements may be Sega related. Sega may be on their stage, right? We don't know.
Yep.
We know that you and I have talked about this to the extent of nauseum. We both want a new Jet Set Radio. There's a good chance it could show up there. And obviously, Lost Odyssey could be something that they're cooking, because everyone's been asking for either a remake or a remaster. I'd love to see a Final Fantasy VII level remake. I think that game deserves it. Blue Dragon would be a great one. Eternal Sonata would be another.
Lots of great options.
K-Vision says Panzer Dragoon. That I would love a new Panzer Dragoon. I think Sega's going to be on their stage in a big way. I think there's some surprises here. I really
don't
do.
disagree. I don't disagree.
But what are your thoughts on this,
by the
man? What are you
way,
expecting?
By the way, I think that, and this is me willing it into existence. I think after they have these announcements and these conferences, if we don't at least know the price tag of the Xbox Ally, there'll be war and pitching forks in the digital streets.
I agree.
We should at least get that at that point. So hopefully that will be something that'll get announced, because it's taken too darn long for them to announce that. But I agree with you that the field is wide open at this point, right? There's a whole bunch of really excellent stuff that they can announce. I think they should really. I've always advocated that make sure these are they're events that people like want to go see. Don't be a regurgitation of the past. Something you've already seen. Let's show it to you again. No. Make every time that there's an event something that's worth coming to, or at least watching, because you now have enough IP to be able to do that. You have so many teams doing so much work that at any moment notice you should be able to produce some kind of stuff to let people see what's going on behind the curtain. So I do hope that this is the first year we see them taking that seriously and announcing Forza or hopefully Forza, I suspect, and all the others. You know what I mean? Like it should be something that we should all be striving towards, so that it's not just always the same awards that get the same stuff. We shall see. I'm excited to see them, produce something that we weren't expecting.
I mean, you'd like to believe that, when the executive producer of these shows, and I'm not talking about Tina Amini, it's the other guy, and I don't know his name off the top of my head, but when he says, and I know some people are going to have some pushback for this, like, oh, boom, but they say that all the time. Well, I mean, it's their job to say that. They got to get you excited. They're trying to get people to come to Xbox and enjoy games there. Now, granted, you don't have to buy an Xbox, even though I don't think anyone can afford one anymore after these ridiculous price increases. But that aside, their job is to tell you to watch these things, but you don't really hear from this guy. And that's the interesting part. So I kind of feel they got something up their sleeve, gentlemen. Any additional thoughts?
Who's the person?
There was the executive producer of the showcases, not Tina Amini. I don't remember the guy's name. I could find out who
Okay.
it was.
Yeah, interesting.
But he said don't miss the show. Like, you're gonna want to
Ooh.
tune in for this. And I mean, it could be as simple as, hey, tune in for, what is we are all thinking. Look, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna put this on Front Street. I will say this. My glass is always half full, ladies and gentlemen. You know that. And sometimes I overhype myself, and sometimes my plans, and I'm not ashamed to say this, are better than Microsoft's own, which is why I'm very surprised I have not gotten a call, because then go to LinkedIn and find all my information right there, where I would make them millions of dollars. Because some people that they have in place are just not doing the job. So I will come out and say this right now: if Forza Horizon 6 does not show up at this event, I think it's going to be a bust, in my opinion. I don't know what could replace this, because we were all expecting this announcement, and again,
I know
maybe,
what could replace it.
What's
I don't
that?
know if they want to do it there. Halo, baby.
Well, I mean, Halo's going to have its shine, though. That's the thing. October's right around the corner. They're having the championships in Texas, right? They confirmed that they're going to show us what they've been cooking. So I don't know if it's going to be multiplayer. I mean, it makes sense multiplayer for the
exactly. I don't know about the actual Halo remake or whatever the hell the Halo game is.
But is Japan the spot for it? I don't know about that, man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We shall see. But what could replace it? I mean, certainly they could do something crazy like Final Fantasy 17.
I mean, they technically could. I mean, they could do Persona 6. They could do, but
Persona 6 coming to Game Pass, something crazy like that. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I mean, but
just even announcing it would be good. But
the only thing I've been able to get out of some of the sources that I talk with on a regular basis is that, and this is the truth, folks, that whatever it is, it's being held super secret. Like, it's so close to the vest that even the people I know that really know, they don't know. And I'm actually kind of glad for that, to be honest with you, because
so it's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, listen, look, I don't really buckle at spoilers, folks. I just don't. I mean, it's great. You know something and it happens. It's even better because you knew it was going to happen. At least that's my thought and theory. But I am excited for the show. I'm excited to see what they're cooking with a couple of the Japanese bigs, and that's Square Enix. That's one. And Sega's the other. And look, folks, again, if you've been following the channel for a long time, we've talked about how many times Sarah Bond has gone out to Japan for numerous things. And we know that she's met with Sega a multitude of times. Now, granted, we all thought, the acquisition of Sega, which that would be great. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. That would be wonderful, but especially because Sega's on the upswing.
That would definitely destroy Forza.
Yeah, it would.
Acquisition of Sega? Holy.
It would be something. It definitely would be something. Yep. But look, at the end of the day, we only have to wait a couple more hours, folks. We're going to get the information again. I will be doing 2 streams tomorrow. They're going to run about $1.15 each one. They are going to be covering in full detail what transpired at the Tokyo Game Show Xbox event, and more importantly, what is currently happening and that was unveiled at Tokyo Game Show. We're going to see. So we're going to, again, tune in tomorrow, 9 o'clock, 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 shows, running about an hour and 15 each one. Look, I mean, it's and you know what's crazy? Tomorrow is my birthday, so I'm going to be doing double the work on the days that I should just be freaking hanging out playing games, and I got a bunch of them that I have to play, but I love this stuff, folks. I'm going to really much enjoy myself. Keep this in mind,
like, this is their showcase, right? They have like the Dev Direct, they have the June showcase, and then the other stuff is other people, right? Mm-hmm. They just show up with other people. This is their showcase again, right? So it's very interesting how they can actually do a lot of things with their own showcases. So I still think you should think of this as a showcase, but It is very. That's why I asked that question, right? Because nobody seems to think that way, right? It's just Tokyo or whatever. But this is their other showcase. That's what this really is.
Yeah, it is. You know what? To be fair, it is an Xbox showcase in Japan. It just so happens to be at Tokyo Game Show. And again, normally, you know, they put some sort of like Xbox Wire, be like, hey, tune in tomorrow, 6 a.m. It's gonna run about 40 minutes, and I haven't seen any of that. And I went looking for it. I did not see any of that. Shout out to Talos with the birthday wishes, brother. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
They did have an article about it, though.
They did have an article about the actual them being there, and
yeah,
I mean it's
again
good time to be a fan of gaming, because we are getting hit with show after show after show, and more importantly, game after game after game. And the woman you're talking about, her name is Mina Sato Gato, and she has been promoted to the head of Xbox Asia following her role in Japan. That story came the way of Windows Central, and that was posted by Hazardor Gaming a couple of days ago. Yeah, that's a really, I mean, she did so well with that, and they promoted her. She made a lot of really big connections. That's a pretty big deal. But you know what? Look, folks, we're not going to drag this on. It's already, this today there's news, but there's not a gazillion pieces of news. So of course we're going to, catch up on super chats and get everyone out of here so you can, continue your evening. But again, tomorrow, I'm covering the Tokyo Game Show on 2 different separate live streams. Tune in if you want, 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. as normally on Thursday. And then, of course, depending on what happens, we will be talking about it on Friday morning's Breakfast with Boom. And more importantly, Friday morning's Breakfast with Boom, folks, you're not going to want to miss that, because it is the 7th annual Boom's Birthday Bash, where, of course, Thursday is my birthday, but Friday, you got a shot at winning one of many gift cards. We are giving away a total of $300 worth of gift cards, 2 grand prize winners of $50 each, and the rest are going to be $25 gift cards. And again, if you're in the States, we'll send you the code. They're all going to be Xbox codes. If you are outside of the United States, we'll work it out through PayPal, and we'll get you your winnings. And so everybody wins. All you got to do, folks, is show up. And I hate saying this, but I'm going to say it. You don't even have to be subscribed. You can simply just be in the chat, put the hashtag in, and if the picker picks you, well, you won. And that's it. We'll call it a day. Yeah, thanks.
Super chats. I don't know if you missed them.
I don't know. Maybe we're going to catch up on. We're going to catch up on them now. So first of all, we got a new channel member, King Webb. King Webb. So I talk with him every day, brother. Thanks so much for becoming a channel member once again. We super appreciate it. Bounty in the chat says, "Wagwan, everyone. An Xbox game on a SOP. Never thought I'll see the day. I gave the show a 5. What am I doing with speakers in the state of play?" I mean, we heard, I think it was like last week, we heard that Flight Simulator was going to PlayStation. That's great. I mean, hopefully people buy it. I mean, it's good. It's not a game that I play, folks. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. So it doesn't really appeal to me. We know the Black Viking really likes that game. I mean, that guy is serious about that Flight Simulator. And Brett Bingham dropped a very generous $2 super chat and says, check the DMs now. And that's what I was talking about with Ryan McCaffrey going back and forth with Aaron Greenberg. Oh, man, just ridiculous. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please hit the like button. If you missed today's earlier show, I was solo dolo for an hour and some change. And I almost lost a voice. But thankfully, I was able to get through it. And you know what? We talked about a couple of things. And one of the things we talked about was OD Knock, which I was right. It's going to be an anthology. And I cannot wait to play that game. And if you missed it, go check it out. And listen, let's get everyone out of here. So we'll start first with Hargeet. Brother, sell the brand. You have a YouTube channel. We'd like to see more people subscribe. So I want people, for you to tell people where they can do that. You also wrote a book last year called Emergence, ladies and gentlemen. And if you like Mass Effect, you would probably really like this book. So by all means, tell them where they can get that. And not follow you on social media. Good for you.
Yes. Yeah, my channel is Huggy1 on YouTube if you want to check that out, and then shop.chani.us if you want to pick up my book. And yeah, I'll be on, I assume, I don't know why See Money's not on tomorrow, but hopefully they're on the weekend. We'll see. But Friday night at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time, I'll be on with See Money and Doodle on for Gamers. And then with Fonz 6 p.m. US Eastern Time on Saturday, and then with Web Dave on 7 p.m. US Eastern Time Sunday. Check those out. And then, of course, next week we'll be able to talk about all this TGS stuff, in full in next week's Primetime Gaming. But yeah, I'm sure we'll have a lot of discussions of all the stuff. Hopefully there's a lot of cool things that get announced and we can all talk about it, and then find out if we can get our pre-orders in or if it's selling out like the Legion Go did.
I hope not, dude. This has been an affair. Either they're gonna surprise us with a low price or blow our heads off with a big one, and I'd rather not be $1,000 device. I'm sorry. I'm gonna buy it,
especially with the price increases.
Jesus Christmas. Yeah, I did a video on that and actually doing really well on YouTube, as a matter of fact, about the price increase and how it could legitimately affect this, and maybe that's why. Originally my naive ass was like, "Oh man, no, I heard Asus wanted to drop it to 500 for the little guy," and I'm like, "That's great. That's going to fly off the shelf." And well, then the price increase for the Series SX and everything else. I don't know anymore, man. This is a bizarre world we're living in, folks. Just complete bizarre world. But let's sell the brand, Casante. Where can people check out the Gaming Circle podcast every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? Subscribe, and more importantly, check out some of your content from Gamescom, where you got actually hands-on these devices, and more importantly, you dropped a how-to video, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. Sell it, brother. Where can people check out those videos, and more importantly, follow you on social media?
Well, thank you so much for having me on, as usual. You can catch up with all those videos on the YouTube channel. Actually, obviously, as Boom said, I put 2 videos out. One just showing off the Legion Go, running the Xbox full screen experience, and then a second video showing you how to do it yourself. By and large, anybody can do it, and on a handheld, that is. You can't do it on a PC; it won't work. People have tried. And it's been great. Actually, I'm thinking of putting a video out that shows you that even power users can find benefits for using this full screen UI. So it's a pretty good world we find ourselves in. So come check out the more content. You know where to find me. TKO Asante on all the places we communicate. And I appreciate it again. See you next week.
You know what, gentlemen, before we get out of here, Xbox literally just took a picture of someone holding the ROG Ally, and it's at the Tokyo Game Show. So you can imagine that this is going to be announced tomorrow. There it is, folks. Breaking news. Too bad we didn't have this to open up the show. It was posted 53 minutes ago, and it says it shows literally someone in the streets of Japan with a ROG Ally X. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. It's going to be shown off tomorrow. Tune in for potentially the pricing 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we'll get into it. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here. Thank you so much for all the super chats, channel member chats, and gifted subs, and new channel members for that matter. Mrs. Boom and I do greatly appreciate it. And of course, for Huggy1 and Asante, we do appreciate you checking out the show each and every Wednesday. And of course, I'm going to close out the show with something that's incredibly important to me, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully one day it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dad told us when we were kids, and would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. And we'll see you next week on the newest episode of Primetime Gaming with Mr. BoomStick and Friends.